In today's video, we are going to do a tag video. This is the makeup declutter tag, and I've never actually done a tag video. I've seen this one going around a lot. I've seen Karen Harris do it, and I've seen Angelica Nyqvist. I apologize, Angelica, if that's absolutely wrong. And apparently this was created by Ava Marie. I'm excited. I've never actually done one, so I'm going to go through and answer. It's 10 questions. Just with products, about products in my collection, and that's what we're going to do today. So I hope you enjoy. Let's go ahead and get started. The first question is a makeup item that's impractical. And I had kind of trouble with this one. I was like, I don't know, I find a purpose for everything that I wear. But when it came down to it, the makeup item I think is impractical, like in my collection, is my basket of all of my like eye gems, face gems. They're very impractical. It takes a lot of time to apply. Probably one of those things I could do without, but I do enjoy them and I like using them, so I keep them, and I will continue to use that impractical makeup product. Question number 2, a mascara that's definitely expired. I picked my Essence Volume Stylist 18 Hour because I don't know when I bought this. My other Essence ones are getting up there too, but this one, like, I have no idea when I purchased this product, and the like barcode is worn off, so I feel like that's not a great sign. It works okay. It's starting to get a little flaky. I actually have this on today, but I love it. And as long as my mascaras work, I tend to keep them, and I know like you're not supposed to, but I don't have a ton of mascaras. I mean, if you look over here, I have like 8 or 10, but I use them all like in a rotation or mixed together. But I use like all of those. I don't normally just store them in my drawer open or anything like that. So I don't have a ton of old mascaras, but yeah, I don't know when I bought this one. It was probably more than 3 months ago. So judge away, but I will use that until it is empty. And this is probably the 3rd tube I bought. So it's definitely expired, but it's working fine. Looks good. So we're going to keep working on that. Number 3 is a red lipstick you never wear. And that really is a lot of them. It depends on the season. In the summer, I don't wear a lot of red lipstick. But I would have to say the Stila Stay All Day liquid lipstick in the shade Beso. I got this, I don't know, a while ago. But I'd heard a lot about the Stila liquid lipsticks and was very excited to have it, but I got this at about the time I was starting to phase liquid lipstick out of my everyday wear. You know, do you remember the time? Like, I had every Wet n Wild liquid lipstick you could have. I am not joking, like every single one. And I wore them every day, and they were so like crusty and crunchy on my lips, and I loved it. It's what everybody wore. And I finally got my hands on this one. And then, you know, bullet lipsticks and lip glosses started to come in, and I'm like, oh, these are much more comfortable. So I don't wear this hardly ever. It's more of like a holiday lip. So I do like it for that, like if you know you're not going to have time to reapply or you're not going to be thinking about it. I like it for that, but this is definitely unworn in my collection. Number 4, a high-end item not worth the money. When I read this question, I knew immediately the product I was going to pick, no question, was this Hourglass highlighting palette, the Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting palette. I bought this like full price. It was in 2020. I remember doing it, and I wanted something from Hourglass, and I looked up reviews, and so many people were like, yes, 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 it's worth it, it's amazing. And here's what it looks like on the inside. And is it pretty? Yeah. Is it worth, I don't even want to say, I think it was $64. But no, I would not. I would not. If I were doing it again today, I would buy like one of the bronzers or a blush or something like that. I try to use this as much as I can because I know that I overpaid for it. But yeah, my Hourglass highlighter palette I don't feel like was worth the money. And I did try to consider that a lot of this stuff I didn't pay like retail price for. This I did, and I was like, not worth that at all. So yeah, that Hourglass highlighting palette is not worth the money to me. Number 5, a drugstore dud. I had a hard time with this one. I don't think there's anything, I don't keep a lot that I think is an absolute dud, like that I would consider a dud. And I thought and thought and thought. And I finally came up with the Flower Beauty Blush Bombs. These were very popular for a while, and I think if you like a subtle blush look, you would like this. I prefer a little more color, and I think that's why I don't like it. I've been trying to make these work. I've been struggling, but I need to get rid of this at some point. But these I would kind of consider a dud. It was like, really underwhelming and not great. Number 6, an eyeshadow palette you forgot you had. And for that, as you can see, I recently redid everything and moved all my eyeshadows and everything. And this Aether Beauty palette, I definitely forgot about. I've only used this once, I think. I have a tutorial up with it. And I remember this shade being like super powdery. But this was so gorgeous, and I haven't touched it. I've absolutely forgotten about this palette, and yeah, I need to pull this back out. I feel like this is the time of year for that. Just that. This is just so pretty. Just looking at it, I'm like, maybe I'll use this one. This is done with the Wilderness palette, by the way. You watched my palette video. I was like, I need to use that. Well, I did. So maybe we'll do the same thing with this. This was definitely a forgotten about palette that I need to rediscover a little bit. Number 7, a foundation that's not your shade match. Now, I have a ton. I apparently don't know what color my face is. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, nope, nope, nope. You have to mix everything. I do have one, though, that I keep that is too dark for me on purpose to mix with things that are too light. And that is the number 7 Stay Perfect Foundation in Deeply Beige. I purposely keep this to mix with lighter foundations because I love the undertone of this. It is really dark on me, but a lot of foundations that are too dark for me are too yellow or too orange. Like they look the wrong color. This, if I put it all over my face, it just looks like I have a fantastic tan, and it kind of does blend in, and it's kind of like, there's something different about you. It looks like I have a fabulous tan. So I keep this one to mix with those because it is not orange. It's like a more, I don't know, a beige color, like it says. And it just works. So I do keep this one for that purpose. But yes, this is definitely not my shade match. Number 8, a product that wasn't worth the hype. This one I knew right away, and that is the e.l.f. Brow Lift. I searched for this product. I looked at Ulta, I looked at Walmart, I looked at Target. I wanted the little spoolie that came with it. I did get it, but I couldn't find this anywhere. And it was the dupe for the Anastasia one, and I didn't want to buy that one. I was like, I have to have this. And it's okay. I don't feel like it does a ton for my brows. It doesn't really hold them up that well. I was definitely a little disappointed. So the hype that was built up, even in my own mind, this was not it. So yeah, this product was not worth the hype. A concealer you couldn't make work. Now this product I actually don't have. It's the Becca Full Coverage Concealer. I'll try to find a picture of it. But I did not like it. It was too light for me to begin with, but the texture of that was almost like gooey. It was so sticky, like stringy almost. I don't know if that's a good description or not, like if you can understand what I'm saying. But it just was like, no, it was too heavy. It felt sticky on your face, and I'm not about that. Like, no thank you. So I did declutter that. I tried. No. And number 10, if you had to start one makeup category from scratch, what would it be? My initial thought for this category was highlighter. I'm trying to think, okay, well, what would I be upset if I lost? Like my eyeshadow palettes, I love them. My lipsticks, I have ones I really love. And highlighter, I was like, okay, I don't have any that I'm like obsessed with. But then I thought about my powder. And I feel like my powder collection, I would start from scratch because I wouldn't buy most of the ones that I have. I have a handful that I adore. My CoverGirl powder, my Zoeva powder, and my Maybelline Fit Me. I love those. I would buy those 3 again. And I probably wouldn't buy the rest of them. So when it came down to it, I was like, I would start that one from scratch and just buy the things I know I like. Because with, everything else, I have like that collector mentality, I want it all. But I'm like, with powder, I really feel like I could start over and be like, I know what I want, and that is it, So I don't think I would be sad to start that one from scratch. And that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this little just chat about some things in my collection. Again, thank you to Ava Marie for creating this tag. And if you are a creator, go ahead and do this also. Or, like I would do before I had a channel, just do it in your own room and, talk to yourself a little bit. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll consider subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye.